And it's an honor to recognize the Chairman Emeritus and author of the original Consumer Product Safety Act, as well as the conferee on CPSIA. And the Chair would recognize Congressman Dingell for 5 minutes.
Madam Chairman, I thank you. I appreciate your courtesy in recognizing me, and I commend you for this hearing. As my colleagues, some of them will remember, and the members of the Commission will remember, we passed, with the support of the unanimous support of this committee, a unanimous bill on this matter. It was an excellent piece of legislation. It got to the United States Senate, and it got screwed up. And then we went to conference, and the screw-up was worsened. And it wasn't very long before I was being called by industry inquiring why a bill which had passed the House unanimously, come out of this committee unanimously, had been turned into such a sad caricature. So I have some questions for the Commissioner. I want to welcome the Commissioner, and I want to welcome you particularly, Commissioner Northup.
Thank you.
And I want you to understand this hearing is not critical of you, but it is of the United States Senate and those people that screwed this up, and we're going to try and figure out what it is we can make the matters right and help you to do your job. And I speak with particular outrage because years ago, John Moss and I wrote the original legislation which created this, your commission, in this room right here. It was a great success until the Senate got its hands on it, and some members of the conference assisted actively in that screw-up. Yes or no to both commissioners? Section 101 of CPSIA permits the Commission to exempt certain materials and products from the Act's lead limit. I believe that is so narrowly written as to be useless. Do you believe that Section 101B needs to be amended in order to permit the Commission a more reasonable degree of discretion in granting exemptions? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
To both commissioners, similarly, given widespread concern about the feasibility of retroactively applying CPSIA's requirements to existing inventory, do you believe the applicability of such requirements should instead be limited to products manufactured after the Act's effective date or the effective date of regulations promulgated by the Commission pursuant to the Act, except in instances where the Commission decides that exposure to a product causes a health and safety risk to children? Yes or no?
Yes for 100 parts per million.
Yes for all parts. If they're not dangerous, we should allow them to still be sold.
And you ought to have waiver authority. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yes.
That makes for intelligent regulation. Now, again, to both commissioners. Likewise, I am concerned that the age limit for children's products defined in CPSIA unnecessarily subjects certain products, such as bicycles, to more rigorous standards than otherwise necessary. Do you believe the age limit used in the definition of children's products should be lowered? Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Got a division. Do you believe that the Commission should have authority to deal with the question of waivers on that matter where it makes good sense? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, except I worry about the big companies having the resources to ask for a waiver, and for the exact same products, they won't. Small ones won't.
To both commissioners, I'm also concerned that the blanket applicability of certification and tracking label requirements could be, when required, unduly cumbersome, especially for small businesses. Would an exemption for small businesses like the one contained in the Food Safety Modernization Act be feasible in the case of consumer products? Yes or no?
I would like to study that more. I don't know. I didn't read the Food Act.
That's a fair answer.
I would support that, but I would support doing away with third-party testing and certification and just let the advanced technology we have today, all the new tools that you gave us, are plenty adequate to make sure that companies comply with our laws.
Now, to both commissioners, I will expect that you will, if you see fit, make additional remarks for the purposes of the record. I'm sorry that I'm so constraining you. Again, to both commissioners, do you believe that the Commission's problems in implementing CPSIA can be remedied solely by administrative action by CPSC? Yes or no?
No.
Commissioner?
We could make some significant changes if we made the absorbability exclusion mean something, and I think we could have. the majority of the commissioners didn't. So it will take your action to change that.
I thoroughly agree. We've made a fine mess out of this. It has to be rectified legislatively. Again, to both commissioners, if not, do you support amending CPSIA to address these problems?
Yes.
Yes.
Would you assist the committee in our effort to do so?
Yes.
Yes.
I will be submitting additional questions to the record to allow the Commission to expand on these matters. And I will ask, Madam Chairman, unanimous consent that my letter of March 4, 2009 to Commissioners Nord and Moore, as well as their respective replies, be entered into the record.
Without objection.
Members of the Commission, I just want to ask this one additional question. Do you believe that implementation of CPSIA has overburdened the existing CPSC staff and resources?
No.
Yes.
Does CPSC have adequate resources with which to implement CPSIA as well as to carry out its other duties?
Yes, if we're not cut.
Commissioner?
No, I don't think we do, but I think we could change the law and it would be sufficient. And I'm delighted to see you again, Representative Dingell.
Well, you're welcome back here, Commissioner.
And the gentleman's
happy to see you, and I'm sorry we're seeing you under these circumstances, and just maybe we can fix this mess. Thank you.
Be great.
Gentleman's time has expired. The chair